They say your life can change in a single moment, but mine unraveled slowly, one missed call, one quiet lie, one unexplained absence at a time, and by the time I saw it clearly, I was already drowning in the wreckage of what I thought was forever. I met Daniel in college during one of those late-night cram sessions in the library where time feels both eternal and non-existent. He sat across from me, glanced up from his books, and smiled like he already knew me. That night turned into breakfast, then 100 other moments of quiet affection and soft laughter, and by the time we graduated, I couldn't imagine a world where he wasn't part of my everyday. He was warm, steady, the kind of man who made you feel like you could finally stop running. We moved in together in a sunlit apartment downtown with too much noise and not enough space, but it was ours, and for a while, I thought that was enough. We built a life. He got a job in finance. I worked in publishing, and every night we met in the middle, cooking badly, watching old movies, dreaming of Europe and kids and years of growing old together. But slowly, something shifted, like the air between us changed temperature, and I was the only one who noticed. He became more distant, longer hours at work, more networking dinners, and a phone that always seemed to be turned face down. I asked if he was okay, if we were okay, and he always smiled that tired smile and said, "Of course, babe. Just busy." But the distance grew roots, and those roots sprouted vines of doubt, curling around my heart. I started to notice the little things, the cologne that wasn't his, the lipstick stains on receipts that weren't mine, the way he'd flinch when I touched his phone. And still, I didn't confront him, because the truth felt too heavy to name, and I wanted so badly to believe I was just paranoid, just tired, just overthinking. Then one day, he left his laptop open. I wasn't snooping. I swear I just needed to check my email because mine was down, and there it was, a message thread with someone named L. Not work, not a friend. L, who called him baby, who sent him selfies in hotel rooms, who said she missed last night. My hands shook as I scrolled through months of messages. Months of weekend conferences that were actually beach getaways and business trips that were lies wrapped in silk and perfume. My heart broke in real time, splintering with every emoji, every "I can't wait to see you again." When he came home, I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just asked him who L was. And for a second, I saw it all, the masks fall, all the pretense dissolve, and what remained was cowardice. He looked at me, didn't even deny it, just said, "It's not what you think," as if that sentence has ever meant anything other than guilt. He begged, tried to explain, said he never meant for it to go this far, that he loved me, that it was just a mistake, a distraction. But betrayal is never just a mistake, it's a choice. Repeated, over and over. And what crushed me most wasn't the affair, it was the version of us I'd been holding on to while he'd already let go. I asked him to leave. He did, eventually. Took his things, left me with silence and a bed that suddenly felt too big. The nights after were the worst. No closure, no apology deep enough, just echoes of what we used to be bouncing off the walls. I kept waking up reaching for someone who wasn't there, cooking for 2 out of habit, flinching every time my phone buzzed. And yet, in the middle of all that ache, I found something unexpected myself. The version of me that had been quietly buried under compromise, under fear, under loving someone who had stopped loving me a long time ago. I went to therapy. I started painting again, something I hadn't done since college. I booked a solo trip to Florence, where I walked cobblestone streets and drank espresso under the Tuscan sun and remembered what it felt like to be whole. I met strangers who became friends and laughed without pretending. I cried too, late at night, in tiny hotel rooms in airport terminals and cafes, with rain tapping on the windows, but those tears weren't for him. They were for the girl I used to be, the one who loved blindly, the one who believed forever was a promise you could seal with trust alone. And now, a year later, I don't hate him. I don't wish him well either. I just don't think about him much. That chapter closed not with a slam, but with a slow, quiet turning of the page. I learned that betrayal doesn't define you, refines you. It strips away illusion and reveals the cracks in your foundation so you can rebuild with truth, with strength, with fire. And maybe, someday, I'll love again. Not the way I did before, naively, completely, but wiser, softer, with boundaries carved out of experience. And if you're listening to this, holding pieces of your heart together, wondering if it ever stops hurting, It does. Not all at once, not easily. But one day, you'll wake up and realize you're breathing without pain. You'll laugh and mean it. You'll walk past the places that once held your world and feel nothing. And that is how you know you've healed, not because you forgot, but because you survived, because you are still here. And that is more powerful than any goodbye letter, any broken promise, any name that used to make your chest ache. That is strength. That is freedom. That is you.